Hey, I'm Mark Romanek, and I'm standing in a Smokercraft 161 Pro Angler XL. If you're looking for a 16-foot fishing boat, this is a serious option. The Smokercraft 161 Pro Angler XL is 16 foot 3 inches long down the center line, has a 91-inch beam and a maximum horsepower, 90 horses. The 161 designation on this Pro Angler XL means that it's a single console boat. And I'm a big fan of single console boats. Truth be told, a single console model gives a lot more fishing room, particularly in smaller boats like this 16-footer. The other thing I like about this console is it's nice and flat up top here, which is going to give you lots of room for mounting important accessories. For example, you could very easily put a 9 or even a 12-inch Graph GPS combo up here if you wanted. There's enough room up here too also to put a VHF radio. All of the gauges are easy to see right over top of the steering wheel. And speaking of the steering wheel, it's a tilt wheel version, so if you're a big guy and you need a little extra room, you got the tilt wheel going on as well. All the toggle switches for your things like navigation lights and bilge pumps, recirculators, that type of thing, are all on together on the right side here, and they're all positive. What I mean by that is when you turn them on, they lock in position and they stay in position. They're also lighted, so when it's on, you can see that that function is on so you don't accidentally leave something on like a bilge pump. All of these features are great, and there's more. For example, there's a 12-volt accessory switch, so if you want to charge your cell phone, you can do that. And there's an MP3 port, so you can have custom tunes if you want, or you could just use the standard AM/FM radio. Both the port and starboard sides of the 161 XL are very, very similar. Let's start with the gunnel and work our way down. They have this integrated track system that goes all along the entire length of the boat. And what this track system allows you to do is put important accessories on. For example, a tool holder, maybe a rod holder, maybe even want to put downriggers on this boat. All of these accessories could be added to this boat in a matter of seconds and removed in a matter of seconds, and that's a very nice feature. Then of course we have the lockable rod storage that's on both the port and starboard side. What I really like about these though is the step pads that are on the top. Not only is it classy and does it make the boat look really cool, but more importantly it allows a person to get in and out of the boat safely. And again, these are lockable rod storage. Underneath there's additional storage, and I'll call that integrated rod storage. It's open and it's a perfect place to store bulky items, like maybe for example your dock bumpers, or maybe your dock lines, maybe you know, a life jacket. Something of that nature is going to be the type of thing that you're going to store in there. So both the port and starboard sides, as I said, are very similar. Lots of storage going on in this part of the boat. Well, I just jumped up on the casting platform for the 161 Pro Angler XL, and there's lots of room back here. This is going to be a great platform if you like to cast for bass or crappie or walleye, that type of thing. But there's some other important features that we have to talk about. Not only is this the casting platform, but underneath my feet is where you're going to find your aerated live well. There's also a very nice dry storage compartment here, not only big enough for your cranking battery, but also big enough for your oil reservoir if you happen to run a two-stroke like the Evinrude that's on this model. The 161 Pro Angler XL has cockpit seating for 3 people. And speaking of the cockpit, when you look at the floor, there's a couple things that are going to jump out at you. Number one, it's all vinyl. That's a nice feature in a fishing boat. It's really easy to keep clean and maintain. The seat bases are also unique in that they're flush. You don't have to ever worry about stubbing your toe on a seat base. And also there's room in the floor for rod storage. And in fact, they have rod storage for up to 5 rods. What I like about the rod storage locker is that when you open it, it has power pistons on the lid. So the lid is going to stay open, allowing you to get your rod out and put your rod back in without ever having to worry about the lid crashing down and breaking one of your valuable fishing rods. You know, the Pro Angler 161, of course, is a single console boat, and as soon as you hop up on the bow casting platform, you're going to recognize that. You got a lot more room to cast up here than what you would have if this was a dual console or a walkthrough. I really like that. Of course, vinyl on the floor is important. We always talk about that in a fishing boat. It's easy to clean and easy to maintain. I really like vinyl flooring in a fishing boat. But there's some other unique features up here. For example, this is only a 16-foot boat, but it actually has 2 live wells. We talked about the one in the back of the boat. There's actually a second live well in the bow of this boat as well. There are 2 dry storage compartments up here also. One of them is going to hold your deep cycle battery, which is going to be important for your electric motor, but the other dry storage compartment is plenty big to hold all kinds of fishing tackle. There's also an electric motor on this boat, and it comes with a quick disconnect. Now, I think that's a nice feature. The reason I think it's a nice feature is some days you're going to want that electric motor for fishing. Other days you might not need it. For example, if you're trolling, you might not want it. You might want to take it off. That quick disconnect is a very nice feature on this boat. And last but certainly not least, more rod storage. We talked about the rod storage in the port and the starboard gunnels. We also talked about the rod storage in the cockpit and the floor. But up here on the casting deck, there's additional rod storage as well. So in a 16-foot boat, you're just not going to find that kind of rod storage. The 161 Pro Angler XL really got it going on in that department. Let's do a quick summary. The Smokercraft 161 Pro Angler XL is an outstanding fishing boat. Some of the unique features: rod storage. Tons and tons of rod storage in this boat. 2 live wells. You rarely see 2 live wells in a 16-foot boat. Vinyl throughout, which is a nice feature in a fishing boat. Keeps it clean, keeps it fishing. Hey, if you want to learn more about this boat, go to smokercraft.com, or better yet, find a Smokercraft dealer and take this one for a test ride.